somebody mentioned the flats. I got to tell you how bad the flats are. It's blighted. You want to know what blighted is? Get on the flats. I was down there on a Wednesday night. I was at a bar. There were 4 people in it. 4 people in the whole bar. The upstairs of the bar was closed. The parking lot down there, you know, the one with the Yiddo stand, with the Yiddo truck that's always sitting there? Well, the Yiddo stand was closed. Parking normally on the weekends, $10 in that lot, $3. $3. I pull up, and you're not going to believe this. The guard comes up and takes my $3. There's 3 cars in the lot. Now, I don't know how big the lot is, but it's probably, a couple 100 foot deep. He goes, park in the back. That's what? Park in the back against the fence. What, he's expecting a crowd? I was down there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I left. There were maybe 5 cars in the lot. And I thought, I could have parked right up in front and I wouldn't have had to walk all the way, Park in the back. The only thing I saw when I came out was it was a local news channel there filming, and the bar across the street, there were probably 150 rice burner crotch rockets lined up. And there's people going up and down the street doing wheelies. Now, I don't know if it ever made the news or not. I know I've seen stories on the local news about people doing that on the highway. But the only reason that there was any activity down there was that all these guys were hanging out at the bar across the street, and they're all on motorcycles, and I don't think they're drinking. At least not very much, or they'd be dead when they'd ride home. Then I thought, well, okay, so the bar is full of people, but if they're all drinking water, that ain't going to do you a whole lot of good, is it? Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Trivisonno.
Well, you got me right in the middle of a mouthful.
Well, what's new? You do that on the air.
I know.
Somebody said that to me. Jim from Window 4, I think he knows you. He works out at Thistledown.
I eat to live.
Do you know Jim from Window 4?
I live to eat, I mean.
Do you know him?
Yeah.
Okay, because he said he knows you, and so anyway, I just thought I'd ask you sometime, and this was the first chance I got. But that's not why you called.
Older guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of heavy set with glasses and a real deep voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I call him Window 4.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. Used to own a bar years ago.
You know why Cleveland's a ghost town?
You tell me, because there's a lot of people wondering.
230 liquor license.
You mean if we had the 4 o'clock version like other cities?
Any city that's happened,
right?
People just start going out at midnight. You go to, I happened to go a couple years ago to South Beach. I took my wife. I just wanted to see what South Beach was all about because I hear about all the athletes going there and everything, right?
Sure.
I'm not lying to you. We talked, so because I'm in the business, of radio, and, you like to be inquisitive and find out what's going on in other cities, right?
Sure.
I did a lot of talking down there. People do not start going out till 1 o'clock at night. The clubs down there don't get packed until about 1 in the morning. And then it's an overflow because then the restaurants stay open and everybody's out of there at 4:30 and they go have breakfast. You follow what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's just one thing after another. I was told by a sharp guy in this town a long time ago, okay, that somebody, whoever somebody is always wanted to keep Cleveland a small city. We had a chance to be a huge airline hub years ago, and we didn't, okay? For some reason, I don't know what it is and who it is and why, okay? I've never been able to figure that out, but downtown, you're right, downtown is dead, buried, gone.
I think the Greek Isle closed down there in the warehouse district, too.
Even the places around, if the Cavaliers wouldn't have drafted LeBron James, you'd have seen most of those places around Gund Arena and Jacobs Field close up. I mean, he's going to save a few of those clubs. Restaurants, I should say, not clubs. Restaurants and bars. Downtown Cleveland's a joke. Did you ever drive up Euclid Ave? Forget about the flats. I wouldn't go to the flats anyway. You know how many things are... The flats are like Las Vegas. They don't even tell you half the crime that goes on down there because people would never go.
Oh, all the flats now is a place for people to go down there and buy ecstasy.
Yeah, well, whatever. But, I mean, if they reported... If all the crime down there made the papers and TAM and the news on television, no one would ever go down there. except the scumbags.
Right.
Drive up, forget the Flats. The Flats is a joke. Drive up Euclid Avenue, Rick.
I know. It's a ghost town.
That's our main street.
I know. It looks. I think Broadway in Lorraine looks better now than Euclid in Cleveland.
We have an airport that's taken up our prime land, Burke Lakefront. Okay, we've never had a mayor with any foresight in this town, or any leadership in this town. Everybody's bought and paid for in this town by big business. This town, whoever it is, here's a good project for somebody out there listening. Find out why and who it is that wants to keep this city down, because somebody's doing it.
I could give you a few names, and I wouldn't have a job anymore.
Well, I don't know who it is and why it is, but how do you take your prime land for a city, your lakefront area? Did you ever go to Chicago?
No, but I'd love to.
Their lakefront is beautiful. Our lakefront's got a friggin' airport and a power plant on it.
You're absolutely right. I don't know why. They talk about lakefront development, then they're talking about taking out the West Shoreway and putting millionaire mansions in. That's not developing the lakefront. We want to bring people down there to have fun things to do, not have millionaires have a nice view of the lake.
Exactly. And then, well, first of all, you're going to get very few millionaires to go down there anyway, because there's nothing for them to do down there.
Well, no, they're going to build homes so that they will have that view of the lake. And that's a one-shot deal. Did I ever tell you the story, or have you ever heard me tell the story about Wheeling, West Virginia?
No.
Well, you know where the money comes from in Wheeling, because Wheeling Steel's pretty much done.
Mm-hmm.
So you know where the money comes from in Wheeling, don't you?
Prostitution?
Well, besides that. Wheeling Island.
Okay.
The people that have Wheeling Island had a plan that they didn't... I guess it fell through, or they didn't go with it. They said they were going to build a casino in downtown Wheeling.
All right.
Now, I've been to Wheeling many times, and I said, build a casino in downtown Wheeling? Where? They said, no. You don't get it. Downtown Wheeling would be a casino. They were going to buy every street, every property. They said it doesn't matter how much it cost, they'd always make the money back on gambling.
Yeah.
No, we can't have... Why couldn't we have a casino where Burke Lakefront sits? People not only take their money out of the city, they take it out of the state, they take it out of the country.
What you do is you put the casino in one of them dilapidated old rundown buildings on Euclid Avenue, okay? You let a casino company come in there, they'll renovate everything, build a huge casino right on Euclid Avenue. Now Euclid Avenue becomes the Strip. You'll have stores open up, you'll have restaurants open up, you'll have clubs open up. Then you have a tram and casinos will do this. Casino holders will put up the money. You have a tram that goes from there to Burke Lakefront Airport.
And make Burke a parking lot.
And, not only a parking lot, amusement park, a hotel on the water. You understand what I'm saying? And you incorporate all that. This town could be thriving. But there's somebody in this town, or more than one person in this town, for some reason, wants to keep Cleveland a little town. And look at the leadership we have. Mayor Jane Campbell can't spell her name, let alone have the foresight to develop anything in this town. Mayor White put the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Science Museum together. Yeah, that's great, but that was supposed to come later, not first. That's like the cruise control and the air conditioning on a car. But it's not the engine or the tires or the body that the car sits on. You have to do something in this town, or this town will absolutely disintegrate. And jobs will leave. Look at all the jobs that are leaving. Look at all the people that are leaving. Look at our lack of education in this state, and how people, when they do get educated in this state, run out of this state and get a job somewhere else. You have to, over the years, it's not going to affect you and me that much, Rick. But just think about young kids today. What's this town going to be like 50 years from now? This town will be a ghost town.
Well, also, part of it is the Rust Belt mentality in this town, that people think for some reason steel's coming back. It ain't coming back.
No.
This manufacturing base ain't coming back. They've as much as said that. They tell people it ain't coming back. You're right, Mike. Wheeling would be a ghost town, literally.
Yeah.
If not for Wheeling Island, dog racing, slots. I hate to say it, but a lot of this falls on poor leadership at the gubernatorial level, too.
Well, that too. I mean, that guy doesn't know his name.
Bob the Jellyfish Taft isn't willing to stand up against the lottery or the Catholic Church for bingo or anything else. I mean, there's too many. You know what it is? Too many people are greased, Mike.
Well, we all know that.
Yeah, too many people are greased, and they got theirs. They don't care less, I guess they don't care whether Cleveland's a small town.
But see, we all know that they're greased, okay? You know how we turn this all around as a society? I was thinking about this one time, okay? We all know the politicians spend 50 times their salary to get elected, right or wrong?
That's correct.
That always made me suspicious right off the bat, okay? All right, so we all know that, right? And we can't stop it. Here's how you stop it, okay? Find out the people that are greasing them. Instead of going after the politicians, because once you find the person that's greasing them, you're going to bring down a politician anyway. Do you follow what I'm saying? But if you never get the people that are greasing these politicians, you're never going to bring down anybody. You'll bring down the politician, but what's the difference? Here comes another one.
See, what you're talking about is the deep, dark analogy of Cleveland politics is that it's like an onion. And you have to start peeling away the layers of the onion to get to the dirty, rotten core. Because that's why the onion started to rot anyway, because it was going bad from the inside out. And if we could peel back those layers on that dirty political onion in Cleveland and get to the core and find out who's doing the greasing. And if I started naming names, I'd lose my job. And so would you.
Yeah, so don't even go there. But here, let me just say this, and I'll let you get on with your show, because it's very good tonight. Gray Davis. Excuse my ignorance here. Was he in office 2 years or 4 years?
Good question. I don't know. At least a couple, right?
Okay, so whatever it is, it was either 2 or 4, okay? When he took over office, they had an $8 billion surplus. When he left office, let's say it's 4 years, he had a $32 billion deficit. That man blew $40 billion of our money. And what I say by our money, we don't live there. But they're not going to let California go broke. The government's going to bail them out. And when the government bails them out, that's our money.
Let me ask you another question then.
Now, shouldn't that guy be in jail instead of recalled?
What makes President Bush any different? Wasn't there a big surplus that gave us our tax break when we got him in? And by the time he leaves, Mike, it's going to be something like 2013 that they're projecting before we could ever balance the budget again.
Yeah, but, things happen. Let me say this to you, okay? Here's one of my pet peeves in this country. All right, the Democrats are running on Bush's tax breaks and how bad they are for the country, right? You hear all the presidential candidates for the Democrats saying that Bush is going to bankrupt the country with these tax breaks, right? You hear Democrats say that, right? Like you just said. Did you cash your tax check?
Absolutely.
Why did you send it back to the government if you knew it was going to screw the country?
Well, like you say, things happen, and a lot of the money's getting spent on the military.
You can't have it both ways.
No, but a lot of the money's getting spent on the military.
Rick, you can't. That's the best place to spend the money.
No, I mean, a lot of the money's being spent on fruitless adventures like Iraq.
It's not.
Well, the problem is that there's going to be people that are going to profit from Iraq, and it ain't going to be you, and it ain't going to be me.
But that's the way. You have to stop terror and stop. And we're getting way off the subject, but stopping Iraq is stopping terror. That's just a step. We're starting to control the Middle East little by little.
Oh, I know.
If we get enough presidents in there, we'll eliminate all that BS that's going on over there. If they all have the same idea. Rick, I'm going to tell you something, Rick.
So I take it you're going to vote for George Bush again?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say, because all I'll say is, I have one concern in this country as an American citizen right now. You know what it is? That my grandkids, my family, can walk into a mall and sit down in a restaurant and live. Because believe me when I tell you, just mark this down in your memory bank, Rick. I'm not going to argue politics with you. If the next president that comes in doesn't fight terror, you're going to see what's going on in Israel going on in this country with suicide bombers.
No, I was just thinking about something else.
So you better hope, whoever it is, if you don't like Bush, you better hope one of them moronic Democrat candidates fights the war on terror and continues in Bush's footsteps, because if he doesn't, you know all those protesters that are protesting Bush right now? They're going to be the first ones to get blown up, and they'll be the first ones to be bitching when their family dies.
Now, I'll leave you on this note.
Yes.
George Bush, Tim Hagen. You can't have it both ways, Mike.
Good show, Rick.
All right, thanks, Mike. All right. Well, that made the last part of the program easy for me. Stay tuned for the Drudge Report. How about that? Coming up live next after these important words and coverage of what the world's happening. I'm Rick Gilmour, the thinking man's friend, and I'll be talking at you sooner than you think.
I just don't know. It's unreal.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a one-hour television spectacular. Is it working now, Gilly?
Yes, Howard.
All right, let's go. Good Lord, let's go.
This is Cleveland.
Him under the hoop, reverse layup, hangs it on the rim, and it goes in.
Kevin Ali from 20 nails it. This is our team.
Augustus to Miles to James, lob to Ricky, hammers it home.
This is Cavaliers basketball.
He hit the 10-footer.
Puts it up and in with a left hand.
Beauty. My, oh, my.
Wednesday night, the Cavaliers kick off the regular season in Sacramento.